Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the dark and your fan stories told here. I get tons of these stories sent to me every day, and most people probably don't know who's sending them in and things like that. But I was really perplexed today when I found 3 stories, all about the same, all in the same location, from 3 different individuals. So I found it fitting that since all of these stories come from the same hospital, today we're going to call this episode The Haunted Hospital. Story number 1. I work as a janitor in the hospital on night shift. It's a great job because it's only me and maybe 2 other people. Day shift does a good job cleaning everything up, so all we really get to do is restock linens and things like that. We make sure that they have the equipment that they need to run on days. This is a really big hospital. It never stops running. The emergency department is really busy, but other than the emergency department, at night, there are places where there's no doctors, no patients, labs and specialized places. The emergency room has all of those themselves, but during the day, there's doctors' offices that are attached to the hospital. That's where I have to go clean, and I'm there by myself. One night, I had to go restock the x-ray room. Nobody was on that floor at all, just me. And you know how the x-ray room has the glass and then a little communication box so that they can talk to the people. That's how this one was set up. I went in there to restock and I kept hearing the box turn on and off. I don't know why I did this, but it was just like static. I hit the talk button and said, "Is somebody there? Can you hear me?" A scream bellowed out. It must have been 5-10 seconds long, and then the door locked behind me. I was locked inside of this thing, listening to it scream at me. I was trapped, just listening to this thing scream at me. I messed with the door as much as I could. I couldn't get out. I finally screamed, "Please leave me alone, just leave me alone." And the door flung open. I ran down that hall. From here on out, they can get their own stuff. I make sure that they have what they need, but I will not go back in that room by myself. Story number 2. I work security at a hospital in Virginia. On night shift, we have to do tours just to make sure nobody's where they're not supposed to be. We have a command tower that we all sit in. It has access to all the cameras. I'm sitting there about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I see this man walking down the hallway in an area that I had just been in. Nobody should have been down there. Everything's locked. The way in and out of that hallway is locked. Where'd this guy come from? My shift supervisor is sitting next to me and says, "Go find out what he's doing. Tell him visiting hours are over. He needs to be in a room or be where he needs to be." It's about a 5-minute walk from the command tower to where I was. I was on the radio with my sarge, making sure that we followed the guy and knew where the guy was. But he was just standing there, pacing back and forth in the hallway. I got to the hallway where he was, and the door was locked. Like, I know that I had locked the door. I had to use a key to unlock the door. There's no way this guy had gotten past me all night long doing my tours. Maybe we locked him in here? Maybe he's stuck. I don't know. When I open the door that leads to the hallway, there's nobody there. Nobody. "Hey, Sarge, there's nobody here." "What are you talking about? He's standing right in front of you." "No, he's not. There's nobody here. He's legitimately right in front of you." I didn't see anybody. There was nobody in front of me. The thing, the man, the whatever, ghost, looked up at the camera and just disappeared. I don't know if it was a time loop or if the guy really was there. My sarge doesn't talk about it anymore, but now we make sure that all the doors are locked, just like we did before, but sometimes you see things on the cameras that you didn't really see. Story number 3. I'm a paramedic, ambulance driver in Virginia. There's one hospital that we just can't stand going to because I promise you it's haunted. I've seen all sorts of shadow people looking out of their windows, things that just don't make sense. I can't stand going there. But one night we got a call. We went to the call, picked the guy up, and took him to the hospital. It was an elderly gentleman. He had been in a car crash and there wasn't much that we could do for him. But we took him to the ED, we did everything, we got him checked in. He didn't make it. But I'll never forget the guy's face. I mean, I saw his face when we picked him up. Just a nice man, it seemed like. But now, every time I go back to that hospital, I swear I see the same guy in the waiting room all the time. It's the same clothes, same face, same elderly gentleman, just walking the halls or sitting in the waiting room. Every now and then I'll see him in the cafeteria. He just gives me a nod and disappears. I know that sounds crazy, and maybe it's burnout, but I see the guy all the time when I'm at that hospital. I told you, there's something about that place. All three of these stories have come in, all from the same place, just different people. What is it about hospitals that seem to be so haunted? Are souls trapped? It seems like such a horrible place to be trapped. I understand you might have spent your final minutes on this earth there, but imagine having to spend eternity there at a hospital. How do we help them pass? How do we help them cross over to the other sides? Or are they just doomed to be stuck there because they have unfinished business? If you have a creepy hospital story, please send it in to Paranormal Nightshift. And thank you for watching.